Coming right up, another fun varsity sports show.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi kids, this is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right. Okay.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show Summer Edition on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring Tyler Bender, Jake Brown, Trevor Goodwin, Lindsey Selzer, and Xander Simmons. And now, the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show here on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. And if you have HD radio, 100.7. My name is Vince Delicio, and it's been a long time. I've been out of studio for a long time doing a lot of outreach in the community. And it's so cool. It's so exciting when you can go out there and people know what you do, who you are, why you're doing it, and as opposed to a year or two ago, people wouldn't so much as give you the time of day. But we've evolved a bit, and it's gotten a lot better and a lot more fun, and it's always been fun, but it's even more fun now. I am in studio this morning, and we are closing out our summer edition of the Varsity Sports Show with our Varsity Sports Show intern team, and I'm joined in studio today. First of all, none of our broadcast crew are in studio. It's more of a farewell tour for them, but I'm joined in studio by the great Coach Lou Perrone of My Recruits. Coach Perrone, how are you, sir?
Thank you so much, Vince. It's amazing to be here, and it's, in today's day and age with some of the media that's going on, it's amazing that the Varsity Media platform just does so much for the interns, the athletes, the local businesses in the area. I'm just blessed to be a part of it and here today.
Well, I like to consider it that we're working among friends and that we're all friends here, and that's what we do. And we spread the word, we spotlight, we give platforms to not only our student intern staff, and we had everything from high school students to graduate students that have served as broadcast interns with us and given them a great platform, and they've brought some incredible ideas to the table. I mean, a lot of talent, and it's not, you can't say, well, they're too young. If you got talent, you got talent, and it's been a lot of fun. But also spotlighting the athletes, like you said, Coach, and it's an interesting business out there. It's a very small world. It's a small fraternity of broadcasters. I'm fortunate in that I've got a lot of friends that work in the business, a few close friends, a few people that I can count on one hand as really close friends. Ed Smith, Javon Adams, in the show that comes on after us. I cut my teeth on that program before we started our own with Easy Sports and doing a JUCO report every other week. But other friends in media circles that are good guys, and then of course the outreach into recruiting with Coach Perrone and all the great stuff that he does. Coach, you said something very interesting yesterday that made me all warm and tingly inside during your Twitter podcast. You said that I was one of your best friends. Did you mean that?
Well, at the end of the day, you mentioned, you can count on one hand. I'm 44 years old. I've met a lot of people in this industry. I've come across, acquaintances, coworkers, parents, athletes. And at the end of the day, there's a certain amount of people that are going to stick with you down all the way to the end. it's very easy to have people by your side when you're on the top, but when the ship starts to sink, how many people are going to be there throwing the life preserver? And you've been there, and like I said, this is just a start, for what Varsity Media is doing. And if you're in now, congratulations, because you're in for a special ride.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. We're going to start to pivot, transition to our fall programming over the next couple of weeks. We're obviously bringing back some of the regular reports, the Canyon View Jaguar Nation, the SaberCat report, the Camelback Spartan report will come on every so often. You'll hear from Horizon Huskies head football coach Andy Litton. You'll hear from Corona del Sol head football coach Jake Barrow, Desert Mountain head football coach Conrad Hamilton. The list goes on and on and on. We're going to have a Thursday night high school football game of the week again this season, and a team of the week will be the featured team with that coach of that team, and we just it's not about us sitting here and talking for a couple hours and pounding our chest and saying how great we are, because we're really not. It's about the community and spotlighting all the great things going on, all the hard work that you guys are out there doing. You guys and girls being the coaches, the student athletes, the parents. There's a lot of great parents out there that are very supportive. So administrators, I try not to leave anybody out, but we're in for a heck of a show. So today, as I said, today is the final show for our interns, and they are bringing some content to the table today. Should be interesting. That'll close out the summer. It's going to be a lot of fun, and actually, you know what? I think we're going to start it off. Corey Walsh behind the glass, one of the best producers in the business. We're going to start it off with a regular segment we had this summer from our very own Tyler Bender, who said, look, I'm a college student. If ever you guys are looking for stuff to make, to eat, if you're hungry, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can just go into the cabinet and whip something up.
You already know what it is. Don't do it for me. Now watch me whip.
This is Whip It Up
Okay. Now watch me whip.
on the Varsity Sports Show.
Now watch me whip.
How's it going, everybody? Tyler Bender for the Varsity Sports Show, back with our final segment of Whip It Up, my little segment where I teach you how to make fast, easy meals from food that you probably already have in your fridge or your pantry. For my final meal, I wanted to share something with you that I made at my grandma's house the other day, in fact. It is a quick and easy fried rice. Now, you're probably saying, come on, Tyler, you've done a lot of fried stuff and a lot of Asian stuff. I'm from Hawaii. A lot of my cuisine is Asian cuisine, and fried rice is something that I just whip up because I always have leftover rice. So if I'm bored or if I need something to eat real quick, I'll just throw that on a pan and get it going. Now, here's exactly what I did, and here's how you can replicate it. Now, you're going to need rice, of course. What you want, though, is leftover rice. You don't want the rice just out of the pot. You want something that you had from the day before. Best if it comes out of the fridge, but let's say you cooked it the night before for dinner and then you left it and you come home. So it's been about a day sitting in the pot, which is okay. You can use that as well, but it's best if you put it in the fridge, let it kind of, harden up, and then it will fry a lot better. Now, what we did is we went to the supermarket and we bought ingredients for this because we had the rice at home. What we ended up buying was some sliced beef. You can either get little tiny chunks of beef, or you can buy, they sell like thinly sliced beef. You can go ahead and buy that. You can do chicken as well if you want, pork, whatever protein you want. We just happen to use beef. Any sort of vegetables that you find fitting for your stir fry, you're going to want as well. So we're talking carrots, preferably if they're already sliced into like little strips that you see in your salad. You can use bean sprouts. That's always a classic. Cabbage, you also want that into tiny cuts. So what I do is I buy the coleslaw, the angel hair coleslaw. Just, you don't mix it with anything. You just buy it. So it's basically shredded cabbage. You can also get some mushrooms with that, an onion, green onions for after it's done frying, peas if you like that as well. What you do when you get home is you cook the beef all nice and normal. You get a bigger pan ready to go, nice and hot where it's smoking. After the pan's all nice and hot, put the oil in there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to throw an egg in there. Have it whisked already. So you're going to make like a scrambled egg at the bottom of your pan or your wok, whatever you are using. Keep it going. Once it's about 60 to 70% cooked. Now, don't like fully scramble it. Just stir the inside of it. keep the bottom base of the egg kind of there, almost like you're making an omelet, but just stir the inside of it. Once that's about 60 to 70% cooked, go ahead and throw the rice in there and then stir it all around. After you start to get that all mixed in, throw in the beef, throw in whatever sort of vegetables you have in there, get that mix up, and then go ahead and put soy sauce all around it. Start on the edge of the pan or the wok so it kind of moves its way down and you can get to the middle. Stir that all around, pepper on top of that as well, and just keep it moving. Don't stop. If you stop and you don't have a good pan, it will get stuck. So make sure you have a good non-stick pan for this or a good wok for this, and make sure you got the oil at the bottom of it before the egg, and just keep that thing moving, and then it's going to turn out beautifully. I promise you. And again, this is super easy to make. It might require you to go to the store beforehand, but if you already have a lot of the ingredients that I just said already prepared and ready to go, then you can make this in just about 10 minutes. And if you have enough leftover rice, you can have a meal for you, somebody else, and maybe some leftovers, maybe for 4. But again, super simple, super quick and easy, and it's one of my favorites. I guaranteed you'll love it. And that will be my final recipe for the summer, guys. Thank you so much for listening throughout this entire 2-3 months. I've had a pleasure sharing some recipes with you. This has been Tyler Bender for the Varsity Sports Show with Whip It Up.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m.
This is just something I like to call breakfast.
With big name guests, timely sports information, and more on KTUS AM 1060.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Lindsay Selzer, and I am a sports journalism master's student at ASU. You could look forward to hearing me every weekend on the Varsity Sports Show from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Saturdays. You can expect to hear a Lowdown with Lynn segment every single week, where you'll find a healthy mix of sports and pop culture just like me. I'll be bringing you all the biggest sports and pop culture headlines, along with many more fun segments. You could also catch me time to time hosting the show. I can't wait to bring y'all loads of great content this summer.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
Hey guys, Vince here. Please join me in welcoming the 2022 Varsity Sports Show summer broadcast team.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Selzer from ASU's Cronkite School of Journalism.
Hi, I'm Trevor Goodwin from ASU's Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law.
Hi, I'm Jake Brown from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Hi, I'm Xander Simmons from Cactus Shadows High School.
Hi, I'm Tyler Bender from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Founder-level sponsors, the Kristen Graziano Group with HomeSmart Elite, are proud to be Saguaro alumni, community advocates, and your hometown realtors. The Kristen Graziano Group is ranked in the top 1.5% of real estate teams nationally, and your top-selling team right here in SaberCat territory. The Kristen Graziano Group can currently be seen on the Emmy-nominated TV show Selling the Valley of the Sun. When you're ready to buy, sell, or want to know the value of your home, reach out to the group that knows the neighborhood, the Kristen Graziano Group.
KTUS AM 1060 is the home to the Dan Patrick Show, the Doug Gottlieb Show, and Sports Map Radio. Catch all the sports content here on AM 1060.
This is Trevor Goodwin from Varsity Sports Show of your NFL recap a week. We finally got some answers to the biggest stories of the NFL offseason. First, Judge Sue L. Robinson ruled a 6-game suspension for Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson with no fine on Monday. She decided that Watson had violated the NFL's personal conduct policy, but could not reward the NFL's season-long suspension due to precedent from prior nonviolent sexual assault cases and the lack of notice to the player. The judge ruled Deshaun Watson's predatory behavior was problematic, and his lack of remorse for his actions played a key role in her decision. The NFL has already decided to appeal the suspension for a harsher punishment, pushing for an indefinite suspension along with a fine and mandatory counseling. The appeal will not be heard by the commissioner, but he will select someone to oversee the appeal for him. The appeal will not take place in court or in person because there's no new information allowed in the appeal. Both sides will do their arguments on paper. The NFL's appeal will be the final decision on the suspension, but the NFLPA will most likely take the case to federal court in a move that will most likely fail but would extend the process for the quarterback. This situation is not over, but we are getting closer to closure for the football side of the court case. Next, the NFL handed down unprecedented punishment to the Miami Dolphins with relation to tampering and tanking from the fallout of a Brian Flores lawsuit. The NFL is stripping the Dolphins of their first-round pick in 2023 and a third-round pick in 2024 after finding unprecedented tampering involving the owner, Stephen Ross, who was involved in communication with former Saints head coach Sean Payton and quarterback Tom Brady in 2019 and 2021. Ross will be suspended until October 17th and is fined $1.5 million. The NFL did not find any hard evidence to support the tanking claims, but the NFL did acknowledge that Stephen Ross did tell members of the coaching staff that draft picks were a priority, but the claims were unserious with regards to payout for losing. Stephen Ross will not appeal the suspension, but did not agree with the punishment. This will have massive implications on the Dolphins team building, but they do have the 49ers first-round draft pick in the 2023 draft. Brian Flores is now a defensive assistant coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers for this season. In other news around the league, Cardinals wide receiver Marquise Hollywood Brown was arrested for criminal speeding this week. He was cited for going over 20 miles per hour of the speed limit. The Cardinals have reported the charge to the NFL front office and await if any suspension will be handed down. This is definitely something to keep an eye on since the Cardinals are without DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 games of the NFL season. Saints wide receiver Kawan Baker has been suspended 6 games without pay for violating the NFL's performance-enhancing substance policy. Baker was already facing an uphill battle to make the team, but it would be now harder for him to secure a spot on the 53-man roster. Saints first-round pick Trevor Penning has been in the news this week for getting into fights at practice for 3 consecutive days and was kicked out of practice earlier this week. Saints will have to lean on Penning to protect Jameis Winston and a Saints offense that could be without Alvin Kamara for multiple games. Finally, Deebo Samuel signed a 3-year, $73.5 million extension for the 2025 season. Deebo was one of the best offensive weapons in football last year and played multiple positions at running back and wide receiver. Earlier this offseason, he requested a trade, but the Niners were confident they could get a deal done before the beginning of camp. This secures a key piece to Kyle Shanahan's offense for years to come. This is Trevor Goodwin for Varsity Sports Show for your final NFL recap of the week, signing off.
Call a few plays and break the huddle. Check that deep, they in the zone.
And you went to...
Welcome back, and that was it was a report from Trevor Goodwin. It was the
NFL, the Trevor NFL. Go ahead, Vince. That's why I'm here.
We got guys. If this is live radio, you guys that are listening at home, you got to see us in here. We're kind of scrambling around and having a great old time. I mean, it's just one of those mornings. Thank you so much, Trevor, for that report on the NFL. And you know, throughout the show, we're going to feature our other interns. I feel so bad because you kind of get caught with your pants down once in a while, and that's what happened in this case on this report. But anyway. Coach Lou, we were actually talking. We might as well let the listeners in. We're pretty transparent on all the things that we've been talking about, and the light just flickered on. So we've got some ideas, and we want to involve you guys at home, you listeners, you guys that are listening in. We need your input. We need to solicit input for this fall. Now we've got regular segments that we feature, obviously regular live segments, but we're going to basically be doing a road show with some different things. Coach, go ahead.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about, having the listeners, giving the listeners what they want. And I think, we're in a day and age here where we're trying to solve, we're trying to answer a lot of the issues, right? So obviously with recruiting being an issue, we've turned around and we've done the recruiting spotlight.
Yeah.
I think a lot of, high school coaches out there that are trying to build their programs, and you're blessed to have, the SaberCat Report and Canyon View and Corona del Sol and some of those great programs. But, one of the things we're playing with is, having a weekly high school segment where we can rotate high school coaches, in the state, out of the state. I mean, there's some great young high school coaches out there that are busting their butts to try to build that program. And if we can contribute and give them 3-4 minutes a week, I think it's going to add some value for them.
I like that idea. What I also like the idea of doing is that you hear a lot about, and the grass isn't always greener, but you hear a lot about a lot of schools out of state. That's why you get a lot of these preseason or early season games from schools that are in, whether it be Hawaii or Colorado or Nevada or California or whatever, New York, New Jersey. And featuring them as well, because we've got a national listener base. We've got listeners in the northwest part of the country, in the east, in the Midwest, and it'd be kind of cool to find out what's going on in those areas. Absolutely. That makes those programs great. And you work with a lot of those schools, right?
I do. I'm working in 23 states and 2 countries.
Wow.
And that's not, to pat myself on the back. I mean, obviously Arizona is my home. Arizona is my core base, but there's a lot of people out there. I mean, I hosted that show yesterday, like you had mentioned, and one of the very, very strong programs out of Mississippi, the coach came on and said, we just, they don't know about us down here. So if we can take that coach who's working so hard and bring him into and give him a bigger network, because as I look at your numbers here, you've got 3,000-4,000 listeners outside of Arizona. So I think it definitely behooves us to, start reaching out to those coaches and maybe involving them some more. And then I've had college coaches that listen to the show.
Yeah.
College coaches listen to the show, say, man, it would be great to be able to come on and talk about our program. I mean, how many high school athletes do we have in this state or neighboring states or any state for that matter that would love to hear what those college coaches have to say and offer?
I like that idea. I'll tell you what, Coach. Let's start that next week. Let's do that next week. I would like to see. I would like to challenge any one of the high school programs out there, whether you're in Arizona, out of Arizona. If you're interested in coming on and featuring your program, hit us up. Send us a tweet, either Coach Perone or myself, and just let us know, and we'll have you on. We'll have you call in, or our producer will set it up. Corey will call you, and we'll bring you on, and you'll talk about your program and what makes your program great, because it is great. Every program is great, but what is it that sets you apart? Talk about some of the kids, spotlight some of the kids in your program, some of the coaches, some of the parents. What is it that you do that sets you apart from other schools, or what is it that you're trying to build that's different than the guy before you or the other people in your community? And let's hear about it. And same thing goes with you college coaches that are listening. Hit us up and let us know, and we'll feature you. If you're out here, beating the bushes trying to recruit, we want to talk about you, and let's help you out and get you a little bit more attention. And it's free attention. So, just
whoa! We don't throw the F word around.
We don't throw the F word around. All right. Well, let me talk to the guy that makes the decisions on that, and we'll find out for sure. But no, I'm kidding. But yes, but we do want to spotlight you. So give us a call, hit us up, and let us know. And with that being said, our next segment, we are going to have a little Major League Baseball update from Jake Brown.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show. My name is Jake Brown, and here is your MLB update. Trade Deadline Edition. The biggest trade of the day came early Tuesday morning, where the Nationals traded generational talent Juan Soto along with first baseman Josh Bell for a package of players. That included rookie pitcher Mackenzie Gore, rookie infielder C.J. Abrams, first baseman Luke Voigt, and 3 more top prospects. The Padres weren't done making moves either, trading for closer Josh Hader from the Brewers for closer Taylor Rogers, pitcher Dinelson Lamet, and 2 top prospects. Padres also shipped first baseman Eric Hosmer out of town to the Red Sox, along with 2 top prospects for a Red Sox pitching prospect. Finally, for the Padres, within an hour before the trade deadline was up, they acquired infielder Brandon Drury from the Reds, who's having a career year, for top infield prospect. Moving on from San Diego, the Yankees also made big moves this week, with the biggest acquisition for them being starting pitcher Frankie Montas and reliever Lou Trevino from the A's for a package of top prospects, with 3 of them being pitchers. The Yankees also shipped outfielder Joey Gallo to the Dodgers for a pitching prospect. Staying in the AL East, the Baltimore Orioles, despite being in contention for the wild card race, decided to trade their homegrown star first baseman Trey Mancini to Houston in a 3-team trade that included the Rays. In return, the Orioles received a pitching prospect both from the Rays and Astros, and the Rays acquired outfielder Jose Siri from Houston, who was raking in AAA this year. At the buzzer, the Royals decided to trade the versatile Whit Merrifield to the Blue Jays for a package of prospects. Merrifield had been a mainstay in Kansas City and said earlier last month that he wanted to play for a contender. Phillies addressed glaring need in center field and in the bullpen by acquiring outfielder Brandon Marsh from the Angels and reacquired David Robertson from the Cubs. Phillies have had trouble late in games, and Robertson has closing experience with nearly every team he's been with. The Phillies also acquired Noah Syndergaard from the Angels to address the front end of the rotation. Phillies weren't the only team in the NL that improved their bullpen. The Braves acquired closer Raisel Iglesias from the Angels for a reliever and a top prospect, making the back end of the Braves rotation potentially one of the best in the National League. That's going to be it for your baseball update, Trade Deadline edition. I'm Jake Brown, Varsity Sports Show.
All right, thank you, Jake. Great report there on MLB. And we're going to be hearing from Jake Brown shortly. He's going to be calling in live. Just tell us a little bit about what he's up to and how his summer semester has gone. So, Coach, we were talking last segment a little bit about some of the things that we can put in place to spotlight more. And you got any kids you want to mention?
You know, I've got a lot of kids that I want to mention, but, there's so many young men out there that are really doing their part. And I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple guys that aren't, that I'm not working with, that aren't with the My Recruits program. There's a good young running back out of Oak Ridge High School. His name is Ethan Vamaka. Hopefully I didn't mess that up. He's a 5'11", 175 running back in a class of 2026. I watched this film. Very promising.
Where is Oak Ridge High School, Coach?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I believe it's in California. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm a guy that's not embarrassed to say I don't know.
Okay.
But I know he's from Oak Ridge High School.
Okay.
I know he's from Oak Ridge High School, but we'll talk about some more after Jake.
All right. Good morning, Jake Brown. How are you, sir?
Doing all right. We are still in Houston. We're about to head out to Austin later today.
What are you doing?
We are, my friend and I, we are traveling through Texas, visiting minor league ballparks. We hit up the Sugar Land Space Cowboys last night, which was a lot of fun. But we've also seen the San Antonio Mission, the AA team of the Padres, and the El Paso Chihuahuas, the AAA team of the Padres.
The El Paso Chihuahuas. I love that. Hey, Jake, I got to ask you, you're probably the only guy I know, and again, maybe I'm just sheltered in that I don't know a lot of people that are fanatics for minor league baseball, but what's the allure of minor league baseball? Why are you so into it?
Well, it's just, I love baseball, and, Major League Baseball is great. I've, gone to plenty of, I used to be season ticket holders to the Nationals. But when you want to see, pure baseball at its core, no corporate, just people playing baseball just to play baseball, you go to minor league stadiums, and it's so, it just feels down to earth. And you get to see guys who will be stars in the majors 2-3 years from now, depending on which level of the minor leagues you're in.
Yeah.
Or if you're in AAA, maybe next season. So it's really cool to see.
Or you could see the next Michael Jordan trying to make it in baseball too. I mean, that's
exactly.
Yeah. Okay. And so, how many levels are there? So you got rookie leagues, then you got single A, double A, triple A. What do you got?
So you got 3 rookie leagues, depending on which part of the country you're in. It's there's Arizona, Florida, and Dominican, and it varies per team how many of those rookie leagues are there. Then you got low A, then you got high A, and then you got double A and triple A.
Wow.
So 4 major levels of minor league.
And these guys don't make a lot of money, obviously.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had a
No,
friend
they don't make
whose
money.
and I had a friend whose son played baseball at Auburn, Division I, and he ended up signing with a minor league team. You know, he got a contract signed, and he made it to AAA. And his lunch consisted of PB&J that the trainer would make for the team as they traveled, and they took that out of his meal money. They charged him for that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Coach Perone has a question for you. Hold on. Go ahead, Coach.
You know, Jake, first of all, obviously, thanks for joining us. You've been doing a great job here, and I've loved listening to you. But, you know, do you know the percentage of, like, minor league baseball players that actually do get into one major league game? That percentage has to be just ridiculously low. Like, in our business, high school football, only 6% even make it to college.
I don't know the exact percentage.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very low.
Yeah.
I think it's around 10% or lower.
Well, and one of my mentors in this business, a gentleman named Ed Smith, Easy Ed Smith, he played 9 years of minor league baseball with the White Sox organization, then transitioned. He was a tight end in the NFL for 6 years. So he played 15 years professional sports. And he just sent me a text message that said minor league baseball is intimate. You can really get to know and develop relationships with the players. So I would say that's probably true. Right, Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. He's 100% right. And, you know, it helps that you played minor league baseball to,
you
know, have that opinion. And, yeah, there's a lot of people who, if they don't make it in pro baseball, they go and do something else, whether it's still in sports or business related or so forth.
Yeah.
And
or broadcasting.
Or broadcasting, yeah, exactly.
Jake, thank you so much for all the hard work you did this summer. You did a great job. Good luck to you, and we're going to hear more from you throughout the show. So safe travels, my friend.
Thank you so much, Vince.
Guys, when we come back, we will be joined by Lindsay Selzer with the Lowdown with Linz, our regular weekly segment where she takes a look at pop culture and sports. Joined in studio with Coach Perone. This is Vince. Go Varsity.
Catch the Doug Gottlieb Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and online at KDUS1060.com.
What's up? It's Xander Simmons. I'm a junior at Cactus Shadows High School, and I'm here this June to give you my takes on the latest in sports. I specialize in baseball, and as a huge MLB fan, I watch my Dodgers every game day. There's nothing like the crack of the bat when I'm at the game and having that rare opportunity to catch a foul ball. Tune into the Varsity Show every Saturday morning to hear more.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner up with Canyon View High School in the West Valley to be the voice of Jaguar athletics. Tune in on Saturdays to hear the Jaguar Nation, featuring coaches, students, and staff between 9 and 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS, and subscribe to the Varsity Sports Show YouTube channel to get free exclusive coverage of Canyon View sporting events. Welcome to the Jaguar Nation.
Jack it up.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
Interact with Bob Kemp's poll question on KDUS1060.com. That's KDUS1060.com. And while you're there, check out Bob Kemp's bottom line at KDUS1060.com.
Hey, and what's up, y'all? My name is Lindsay Selzer from Varsity Sports Show, and I'm back to give you another segment of The Lowdown with Linz, where you get a healthy mix of sports and pop culture, just like me. And I have my dad with me again today. Say hello, Dad.
Hello, Dad.
You did that last time, and you're gonna have to get some new jokes.
Okay, Lo. Let's get low down with Linz.
All right, well, we'll get started. We have 2 sports stories today and 2 pop culture stories today. Per usual, the news, tell me if you agree with me on this. Is the news cycle a little slow this week?
It's a little slow. People on vacation. It's back to school. You know, Target's probably busy. Pencils, pens, papers. But it's a little slow out there right now.
So it's been kind of a slow news week, especially in the pop culture range. So I'll show you what I came up with, but we will get started with sports first and foremost. So I have my dad here, and we're going to talk about which was breaking today. Brittany Griner was sentenced to 9 years in Russian jail for drug smuggling, is what they're calling it. So the American women's basketball star was convicted of deliberately smuggling drugs into Russia and sentenced to 9 years of jail time on Thursday. That has raised concerns she is being used as a political pawn in Russia's war against Ukraine. This story overall, I mean, it goes back locally to Phoenix because she is a part of the WNBA team in Phoenix and the Mercury. And so the story has been really, really sad to watch unfold. I know her wife or girlfriend is also waiting for her to come home. It's been over 180 days. Dad, what do you think about this?
I just think it's crazy. You know, her legal team told her to plead guilty because they can't do a prisoner swap unless the trial is over. Mm-hmm. And so now she's been sentenced to 9 years, which is kind of scary. And she just got to really hope that what was promised to her by her legal team, that a prisoner swap can happen, because otherwise she could end up staying in Russia, and that would just be awful for any American to have to stay in a Russian jail for basically not doing something as bad as a 9-year sentence would dictate, in my opinion.
Yes, of course. And I mean, it's just overall, it's been a really, really sad story, but maybe now the prisoner exchange can get going because she was found, the verdict was found guilty.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens. I think that they offered 2 Americans for 1 Russian person that's in our jails over here, and we never heard much more about it. But for her sake, I hope it works out. You know, staying over there in a Russian prison, that's got to be awful.
Absolutely. So here's kind of a funny little sports story my dad and I found, and it has to do with women's golf. So we love women in sports. And this is kind of a funny story. It's really peculiar. It's kind of my style. So Jessica Korda shoots 65 in her borrowed golf clothes, meaning her luggage was lost. So she was borrowing golf clothes and trails Hanake Shibuno at Women's Open.
So what's crazy is, Lindsay, is she borrowed pants each day of the week from different players, and then FootJoy gave her pants the last day. So you wonder, like, FootJoy caught the story and said, hey, maybe we can cash in on this. But she shot an incredible round. So the next round I play in golf, I might wear your shorts.
Okay, so you're going to wear my shorts, and then that's going to be what's working. Luggage here. This is a whole conversation that we can have here really quickly. But luggage loss. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy this summer so far. Let me find some wood to knock on. You hear that? I just knocked on some wood. I've been okay with luggage, but it seemed to have been a nightmare for everybody else. So
What's crazy is she has one of those tags that tells her...
Yeah, that was what I was going to say next. Okay, yes. So say what you're going to say.
So she has a tag that tells her where her luggage is.
It's an Apple AirTag, and for those of you that don't know, it's pretty similar to Find My Friends. It's on the Find My Friends app. I've had one myself that I've used, and I actually left it at our home in Houston, which is not doing me any good, but that's okay. And, I mean, it's even crazy with these AirTags. She knows where it is, physically knows where it is, but nobody can pick it up. Is that correct?
Right. So she's like trying to tell somebody to go get it for her, but she can't get it. But maybe she doesn't even want it now. I mean, if I'm shooting 65, are you kidding? Keep the clothes. Let me get some new stuff.
I mean, I bet you sponsors are going to be eating this. I know you said the one.
FootJoy. So FootJoy probably stepped up and gave her some pants or her name. Now it's all over the news story that FootJoy is what she wore yesterday.
So anyway, I thought that was just a fun story. We're highlighting some kind of peculiar sports news, which is kind of my favorite. I'm not going to lie. Just weird things that are funny. And also it's cool to see that women were helping out other women, and especially in the sports world. So I really enjoyed seeing that. So now we're going to move on to our pop and pop culture topics of this week. We got 2 pop culture stories. I'm going to start with something that's a more obvious choice. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend announced their pregnancy. So Chrissy Teigen is expecting a child with her husband after almost 2 years after losing a baby during pregnancy. She suffered a miscarriage, and she wrote about it on Instagram. I remember about 2 years ago, and it was about the saddest thing I've ever seen. I mean, just such hurt and loss. But we have a picture here from her Instagram write-up of her showing off her sweet little baby bump. So over the last few years, she pretty much has been going through IVF, and finally it has happened for her. She is pregnant, and she is going to be adding to her family of 3 with John Legend and her 2 children. So I just wanted to say congratulations. It's really cool to see somebody overcome something, especially after a miscarriage. I mean, I can't even imagine what that is like. And it's cool to see their family growing because they have pretty cute kids. So what do you think?
Well, first of all, look at the picture that you're looking at in the background. What about those shoes? Holy moly. She must have like 100 pair of shoes in that closet.
Let me give you all the visual. Everybody go to Instagram, Chrissy Teigen's Instagram. The picture where she announced it, there are a lot of shoes in the back. And they actually are color coordinated, and I'm finding myself getting very jealous.
Plus, what is that, like 3 million followers? Holy smokes.
I mean, at least 38.5 million.
Oh my gosh. It's just crazy. But hey, good for her. I'm happy for her. Her other kids' names, what are they?
Miles and Luna.
So what do you think this one's going to be?
Luna's not like the most typical name. Miles is pretty typical. So it's going to be a wild card for me. I feel like they're going to go a little maybe different or something along the lines of a miracle or something like that.
What about Lennon?
Lennon, this is a shout out to our cousin actually. She just had a baby named Lennon, and in Hebrew that means lover. So she is a beautiful new baby girl named Lennon. So maybe they'll name her Lennon. I don't know how much they're invested in the Hebrew language, but it's possible.
Maybe Cotton. Lennon? No.
Lennon and Cotton.
Lennon.
I get it. I get it. So yeah, anyway, very happy for them. But I do think the name is something very interesting to think about. But I feel like it's going to be something that has to do with being a rainbow baby. The baby that you have after a miscarriage is usually called a rainbow baby. I don't know if you knew that.
Maybe
I learned that on the Real Housewives.
Or something.
What?
Maybe Spectrum. Rainbow Spectrum.
What are you saying? Oh my God, that's funny. So we got one more story for you before we wrap up the segment today. So this is kind of an odd story, and this was me kind of picking the bottom of the barrel for pop culture stories this week. I mean, it's just been a slow news week again. So here we go. Vanilla Ice wants to transform an historic Lake Worth beach building into a pop culture museum and brewery. So Vanilla Ice on his show, The Vanilla Ice Project on the DIY Network, is showing his project of his newest renovation, which is gutting the 1922 Masonic building on Lake Avenue near City Hall and restoring its property to an 100-year-old splendor.
I think that's great what he's doing. He's giving back, and it should be a great place.
Yes, so I'm excited to see what they have in store. It looks like it's an 18,000 square foot, 3-story building, and the brewery is looking to be on the first floor, the Pop Culture Museum on the second floor. Not really sure what they got going for the third floor, but also they were thinking of maybe a speakeasy or something like that. So I think that's really cool to take something and...
As long as Vanilla Ice is involved, it's going to be awesome.
I know. Ice Ice Baby, right?
Ice Baby.
Exactly. Well, that's all we got for y'all today. I'm Lindsay Selzer from Varsity Sports Show here with my dad, Larry Selzer. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy the show.
We'll bring you the lowdown next week. Lindsay, live.
Thank you, Lindsay. That was awesome, and her dad, too. And, you know, what was so great about it, Coach, this summer is it joined in studio with my recruits, Coach Perone, a good friend of mine. What was so great about this intern crew, this broadcast intern crew, is that they were so talented. They brought so many talents from different areas of interest. And you know, when I met Lindsay, she was hosting a podcast. She's a graduate student at Cronkite, and she was hosting a podcast, this pop culture thing. And I thought, wow, it'd be cool to kind of inject that enthusiasm and a little bit of pop culture into our show. And she brought it. And she even hosted in studio throughout the summer. She did an awesome job. And Lindsay, thank you so much. And we heard from Jake Brown. Jake is a senior at Cronkite. Also does he's big into minor league baseball, hosts a baseball podcast, does a lot of great things out there. And then we'll continue to hear from Trevor Goodwin throughout the show. Tyler Bender. Trevor is a graduate student at the Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law. He's a law student and studying sports law, wants to be an agent one day. He's not a broadcaster, but we made him one this summer. And he's a game day manager for a couple of the sports at Arizona State. And I do PA announcing for them and lacrosse and softball. And Trevor and I struck up a bit of a friendship in the work that he does as a game day manager. And we work together pretty closely as I do public address announcing for some of those sports. So, and then Tyler Bender, who's also a senior at Cronkite. Great job. He's from Hawaii. He's more interested in the 30 for 30 long, podcast storytelling type things and did a great job this summer. He's an avid golfer, and his Valley Tour, he'll be that was a weekly segment he did where he visited a different golf course throughout the summer, and amazing. And then Xander Simmons, who is he's a Hollywood actor, and he's a junior at Cactus Shadows High School, does a lot of commercials and movies and things, and Xander really cut his teeth on broadcasting this summer as well, and even reported for us, Coach, from Israel. Xander spent a month in Israel, and he did a weekly segment for us from there, so amazing. Anyway, we are going to do a quick look at movies with Now Showing.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show. This is Jake Brown, and welcome to the final edition of Now Showing, the segment where I talk about new movies coming out this weekend in theaters and on streaming. The biggest movie coming out this weekend is Bullet Train. Starring an all-star lineup headlined by Brad Pitt, Bullet Train chronicles the objectives of 5 assassins trying to take a suitcase on a train through Japan. The all-star cast also features Sandra Bullock, Joey King, and Aaron Taylor-Johnson, among others. While Bullet Train is receiving mixed critical reviews, it's a fun action movie that keeps viewers entertained throughout the runtime. I cannot wait to see it when I return from my trip. There's a new animated movie coming to Apple TV Plus titled Luck. Produced by former Pixar head John Lasseter, Luck is about a girl named Sam who is considered the unluckiest person in the world. She finds herself in the lands of the luck as she needs to unite the magical creatures and turn her luck around. The movie stars Simon Pegg and Jane Fonda and Tony-nominated Eva Noblezada. Not very movies out this weekend. Anyway, it was a lot of fun talking about movies with all of you. I hope you enjoyed Now Showing all summer long. I'm Jake Brown, Varsity Sports Show.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
This is Trevor Goodwin from Varsity Sports Show, and this summer I will be covering the topics that have the sports world talking that week, from the pros to college to your local community. There's never a dull moment, and there's no such thing as an off season. Don't miss out on any of the content. Tune in weekly to the Varsity Sports Show, 1060 KDUS, Arizona. See you there.
To show you something that you ain't never see. Go 5 rings, 5 chains. Check. 2 watches, that's 12. Drop. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the air. Before it's all said and done, let me make one thing clear. What? True to it, not new to it. I'm rookie of the year.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. The Varsity Sports Show is proud to partner with SaberCat Athletics. That's right, the Scottsdale Saguaro SaberCats are on the Varsity Sports Show. Join the varsity team as we cover the Cats during the SaberCat Report on Saturday morning's Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring players, coaches, and commentary. Look out for live stream coverage of Saguaro SaberCat sporting events by going to YouTube and searching for Varsity Sports Show, then click that subscribe button to stay up to date. The Saguaro SaberCats are here. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Venetian who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, it's Dylan.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
Welcome back, guys. And as you know, guys, I've been doing this for a few years now, and have known Coach Perone for a few years. But we are 100% committed to delivering the best show that we possibly can, week in and week out. Anything that we put our hands on, we give it our best effort, whether it be through the sports live streaming and the game broadcast this fall, to the Saturday morning show, to anything else. And so we are committed to that. And speaking of committed, Coach, talk to us a little bit about this week's commits.
Absolutely, we are committed. And speaking about committed, like you said, Vince, Austin Glimpse, former Centennial quarterback, now at Sunrise Mountain, committed to South Dakota School of Mines. A.J. Dutchover from Highland High School, committed.
Wow.
University of Southern Utah. And Alex Deust, Mountain Ridge High School, committed to Northwestern. Gentlemen, congratulations. And on behalf of Vince and the Varsity Sports Show and Coach Perone and my recruits, go be great.
Yeah, congratulations to you guys. And I know that's what we work for. And congratulations to the parents that have put in the time to support your kids, to support our kids. It is a it takes a village.
Grind,
well, it's a
buddy.
grind, and it takes a village. So, and I know that even my own kids have mentors that, outside of our home that have helped kind of nudge them along, whether it be academically, spiritually, whatever it may be, vocationally. And so I'm grateful, and I know as a parent that it takes a village to raise kids. So everybody can take pride in these young people getting these opportunities to move on. And there's a stigma out there is that everybody has to go D1, and it's not about D1. It's about finding the right place for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, the stat that I always throw out is 78% of high school football players after 12 months quit playing football anyway.
Yeah.
So why not making about a bigger picture? I mean, I know we don't have much time, but a quick story. Ethan Price, who was one of my young men who passed up on some Division I opportunities to go to Oberlin College. Drastic situation. He blows his meniscus out freshman year. Well, guess what? His surgeon is Dr. Peter Voss, who is the surgeon for the Cleveland Browns. Ethan has his knee repaired. He's a 4.2 student. Guess who got an internship yesterday for the Cleveland Browns? Ethan Price.
Wow.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's talking about focused on what the end game is. And he just took a negative situation, blowing his meniscus, tearing his meniscus, into an internship with the Browns and Peter Voss.
That is crazy.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's an incredible opportunity. And you talk about, the stars aligning and being in the right place at the right time, but also you make your opportunity, and he chose wisely. Congratulations to Ethan and his dad.
Yeah.
Eric's a good guy. Eric Price.
Great friend of the program.
So it's incredible. Okay. Well, that being said, Corey, let's go to our NBA report with Trevor.
Good one for Varsity Sports Show. If your NBA hardwood update of a week, the NBA lost a legend and a pioneer of American sports this week. First, WNBA player and two-time Olympic gold medalist Brittany Griner was found guilty of drug charges and was sentenced to 9 years in prison and a $16,200 fine on Thursday. This was to be expected due to Russia's extremely high conviction rate, but has caused an uproar for many around the NBA community. This was the next step in the process, with President Joe Biden calling on Russia to release her immediately and said his administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every possible avenue to bring Brittany home as soon as possible. The next step to watch for is a prisoner swap from the United States and Russia. Meanwhile, in Texas, former guard Amon Shumpert was arrested after allegedly having 6.2 ounces of marijuana in his bag at the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. He will be facing up to 2 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Shumpert averaged 7.2 points per game and 3.3 points per game throughout his NBA career and also won Dancing with the Stars in 2021. In Laker news, the team has given new head coach Darvin Ham the power to bench star point guard Russell Westbrook out of the starting lineup in late in games if needed. This is a surprising development since former coach Frank Vogel did this multiple times last season, which led to Westbrook publicly going after the coach and eventually played a role in Vogel's firing. This is an interesting development to put out for the Lakers as they're still in the hunt to add star point guard Kyrie Irving to the roster for next season. Finally, the NBA lost a pioneer and a legend this week as Bill Russell passed away at the age of 88. Russell won 8 straight titles and 11 overall during his career and created a lasting legacy on and off the court. Bill was a key fighter for civil rights, boycotting games due to discrimination against his team, and also won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Bill also served as the NBA's first black head coach as he won his final 2 titles as a player and coach. Adam Silver called him the greatest champion in all of team sports, and basketball's Babe Ruth and how he transcended the game. NBA legend Magic Johnson called on the NBA to retire Bill Russell's number 6 league-wide for his impact on the game. Bill Russell was a true trailblazer for the United States, and his impact will never be forgotten. Rest in peace to the legend, Bill Russell. This is Trevor Goodwin for Varsity Sports Show for NBA Hardwood Update, signing off.
Let's do it for the fans, and this thing's going crazy. I've been balling, right or left, ain't no telling why.
All right, welcome back. Coach Perrone, talk to us a little bit about a couple of more players.
All right, well, players to watch. Let's go right to it. Chandler Prep High School, Creon Fulgrim, 2024 DB, 5'9", 160, 3.7 GPA, absolutely ripping up the camp circuit. Young man that you're going to see a lot of this year from Canyon View High School, Damari Colbert. Watch out for this guy, Vince. Game breaker. 5'9", 160, 2023 wide receiver DB. Centennial has a young offensive lineman that really caught my eye. Thaden Long, 6 foot, 270, powerful. Quick feet, a Ron Sowers product. Definitely a guy to watch out for. And Vance Cooper, I know we spoke about him when we did the Paradise Honors Spotlight.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. This guy is a bona fide star fullback.
What amazes me is the fact that there are so many small schools out there, and you've got top athletes at these small schools too.
Absolutely. Creon Fulgrim was one of the state leaders in interceptions. Vance Cooper is a guy that's going to be playing some major college football, and at Paradise Honors. And Coach Goodlow, like we said, doing a great job with that program.
Guys, all of a sudden, this is the place to be on Saturday mornings. I mean, we were before, but even more now with the great Coach Perrone in studio with us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Folks, we are 1 hour down. Stick around for hour number 2, wherever you are. Hit us up on Twitter. Tell us where you're listening from, whether it's Phoenix, whether it's Walla Walla, Washington, wherever you are. Hit us up, and we'll mention you here on the Varsity Sports Show. Hour number 2 coming right up. Go Varsity.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hey everyone, my name is Tyler Bender and I'm a student at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Being from Hawaii, I'm really big on community and family, so I'm very happy to be a part of yours. This summer on the Varsity Sports Show, I'll be bringing you content such as music, food, sports, and everything under the sun. So if you want to learn more about me and my voice, listen to me every Saturday on the Varsity Sports Show. We'll see you guys around.
Hey guys, Vince here. Please join me in welcoming the 2022 Varsity Sports Show summer broadcast team.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Selzer from ASU's Cronkite School of Journalism.
Hi, I'm Trevor Goodwin from ASU's Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law.
Hi, I'm Jake Brown from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Hi, I'm Xander Simmons from Cactus Shadows High School.
Hi, I'm Tyler Bender from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
KDUS AM 1060 Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix is brought to you by AC by J, Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Drains.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show Summer Edition on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, featuring Tyler Bender, Jake Brown, Trevor Goodwin, Lindsay Selzer, and Xander Simmons. And now, the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to hour number 2 here on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, HD 100.7. Joined in studio by my old friend, Coach Perrone, Coach Lou Perrone from My Recruits. Coach, I get a lot of calls and emails from people, a lot. You can imagine the volume of calls, emails, even letters, written letters, wanting to know what Coach Perrone is like away from the microphone.
You
do you have any hobbies?
Yeah, you don't want. Actually, I do. I actually semi-professionally do play poker. I've won a couple of titles over the years.
Yeah.
That's a passion of mine. I like challenging opportunities. To me that's challenging. It's not you versus the casino. It's you versus other players, and it's trying to strategize. And I always use the term from Denzel Washington on Training Day when I talk about recruiting. This is chess. This isn't checkers. And you need to be very strategized in the approach instead of just kind of moving checkers and just jumping guys and trying to get to the other board. You're setting up the next move. And that's how the business of recruiting is, and that's kind of how poker is, and that's why I've taken a liking to it and been very successful. I'm blessed to be very successful. I think I might be, 700th on the all-time money list in the state of Arizona.
Wow.
It's not too good, but there's
how many are on that list?
There's some great players out there. That list goes deep.
Okay.
But it's a nationwide list, and I'm thankful. Everything that I have had the opportunity to have or be a part of in my life, I'm thankful for, including being on this show, which is the place to be now.
Wow.
That's the new
place to be on Saturday mornings.
Yeah,
I'm honored. Our friendship started a couple of years ago, and when this show was called something else, and it went through kind of a transitionary period, and anytime you have other kind of hands in the mix, things get a little complicated, and the minute that stuff changed, we circled back, and it presented new opportunities for us.
Transitionary period might be the understatement of the year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but now, hey, the Varsity Media platform is here, and it's here to stay. And look, Vince, at the end of the day, in this business, in any business, when you're on top, like I said, they're going to try to bring you down.
Yeah,
and that's the end. At the end of the day, you're not going to. Everyone's not rooting for your success.
Yeah,
in my business, if you listened to that show yesterday, that gentleman that co-hosted that show for me owns a recruiting business. He's one of the biggest recruiters out there. And to be able to come on that show and give information on behalf of kids in conjunction saying, hey, you can call me, you can call Coach Perone. We're all in the same fight together. We're all trying to provide for our families. We're all trying to do the best. And, the place to be, we're doing it, man. We're adding value to not only our day and our listeners' day, we're adding value to our community. And like I said, just the listeners, if you're not listening, you will be listening because this thing's going to take off.
Well, and I'm going to go one more here. Any of you young guys out there that want to call into the show, give us a call. Tell us where you're calling from and talk to us a little bit about your program. Whether you're a coach or a player, student athlete, parent, give us a call, 602-260-1060. Now, obviously, this is a radio show. It's live radio, so keep it clean. But,
anytime you do live radio, you're rolling the dice.
You're rolling the dice. So we're going to take a chance, and we're going to roll that dice. But we want to hear from you guys. 602-260-1060. We're going to be here till 10 o'clock, and we'll be talking a little bit in between and some other great segments coming up. Should be a lot of fun. And we actually, in the next segment, we're going to be joined by our old friend Dylan Weinmiller with It's Dylan. Kind of a fun segment, and you'll hear more from him, but that'll be in the 9:15 time block there. And let's get a quick NCAA report here with Trevor Goodwin.
This is Trevor Goodwin for Varsity Sports Show of your NCAA Roundup of the Week. As college sports gets closer, more drama continues to shadow over the NCAA. First, UConn's women's basketball star Paige Beckers suffered a torn ACL this week and will miss the 2022 and 2023 season. This was the second tear in the same knee after missing significant time last year. This is a massive loss for women's basketball, with Beckers winning National Player of the Year, which was the first time a freshman has ever won that honor. He helped lead the Huskies to the Final Four last season, but lost in the national championship game to South Carolina. UConn has already lost their top two scorers from last season, so it'll be interesting to see how the UConn Huskies bounce back after losing Paige Beckers for the season. The NCAA has issued new allegations against Rick Pitino in the Louisville infractions case involving Brian Ballin's recruitment when Pitino was the coach of the Cardinals. The source of the new allegations are due to Merrill Code's Black Market book, which paints Rick Pitino as complicit in the bribery scheme that involved Ballin and Adidas. Merrill Code has already spent time in prison for his role in the case and published his book earlier this year on the allegations. In it, he wrote that Pitino was well aware of the $100,000 offer to Ballin's father and authorized it. Pitino and Louisville both deny the claims made in the book and want these allegations from the book to be thrown out of their case. In football news this week, Auburn Tigers quarterback TJ Finley was charged with attempting to elude the police this week. Finley's charge was due to an earlier incident involving a failure to wear a helmet while riding a moped. Finley is battling for the starting job this year after Bo Nix transferred to Oregon this offseason. Finley started 3 games last year and worked as the first-team quarterback in the spring. Earlier this week, Finley became the first college football player to ink a name, image, and likeness deal with Amazon. Finally, former Auburn head coach turned U.S. Senator Tommy Tuberville is spearheading the congressional movement to regulate name, image, and likeness deals. He announced his intent to draft a bipartisan NIL bill and is seeking feedback on NIL from college sports stakeholders. Tuberville called the situation a free-for-all and mentioned that his coaching buddies have never seen anything like it. Senator Joe Manchin has also joined the NIL bill creation, and it should be noted that he has a long friendship with Nick Saban, and both have spoken to the coach about this issue. Nick Saban has been clear that he wants regulations in the name, image, and likeness landscape. This will be an interesting issue to keep an eye on as legislation of NIL continues to be a major topic in college sports. This is Trevor Goodwin for Varsity Sports Show of your NCAA Roundup for week, signing off.
This is the Valley Tour on the Varsity Sports Show. How's it going, everybody? Tyler Bender for the Varsity Sports Show, back with our final edition of the Valley Tour. I've had so much fun playing at all sorts of different golf courses this summer, guys. And now it's time for me to conclude this segment and give you the final golf course that I have played this summer for you guys. It's going to be Western Skies out in Gilbert. I recently moved out there in between apartments, so I got out to another course out there. It is incredible, guys. I am actually been amazed with the level of golf courses over the summer. Usually they're very dry. Usually it's not so green. But Western Skies and all the other courses I've played this summer, for the most part, have been very well maintained. Western Skies was in great shape, actually. The greens were very, very dry, very fast, but the fairways were very, very nice. It actually had a lot of thick rough to it, and not thick like dead rough, but like really thick green grass, hard to hit out of. Very well taken care of course. It was also a very fun course. I like the layout of it. Again, it's one of those ones that's straight for the most part, but kind of hilly. You're never really hitting off of a clean, flat lie. It's very simple. It's a very easy course. So if you got some buddies who aren't so great, or maybe you don't think you're the best golfer, I don't think I'm the best golfer, go out there. You're going to have a lot of fun. It's worth your money. It's pretty cheap. It wasn't too expensive for a twilight rate, and you can get through it pretty quickly too, depending on how late you go. I teed off at about 4 o'clock. There was a threesome in front of me. They let me go in front of them before we even teed off, and I just went out there by myself. I got through the front 9 in less than an hour, about 45 minutes actually. My entire round took just under 2 hours, so I was in and out of there really quick, plenty of time before the sun went down, even at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you want to go out there and give it a try, as the weather has been getting a little bit cooler, now is definitely the time to go, because people are going to start jumping on. But again, this is a very fun course. You're going to have a nice, easy time. If this is one of those courses that you can go out there with your buddies, have a couple beers, you're not going to be too concerned about how well you're playing. It's pretty open. There are some holes that are really narrow, and those are the ones that will get you. But for the most part, you can hit onto the other fairway, and you got plenty of room. If you think you sliced that ball, don't worry. It is definitely still in play. You're going to be able to find it. I saw people coming down the fairway when I was teeing off, and then I ended up on their fairway. So you're going to have a good time at this course. You don't have to play too serious there. The people don't really care. The clubhouse members and staff are very nice. And this is one of those courses, too, where there's GPS in the cart. You don't need a rangefinder. I know that's kind of the trend these days. I've always gone without one. Just look at the markers out on the course. This course doesn't have the markers because every cart comes with its own GPS. It knows what hole you're on. When you're at the tee box, it tells you how far you are to the front, middle, and back. It has the colors corresponding to the pin on the flag, so you know where on the green that pin is. And it lets you know how far out like a bunker is in the fairway. There's a lot of fairway bunkers. It lets you know how far you are to this point. It lets you know how far you are to this tree, so you know exactly where to drive the ball. Do you want to lay up? It's really nice to have in the cart. And for the fact that you can get on this course for cheaper than you can get on an executive course that's right down the road, which is Greenfield Lakes, that doesn't have that, I think it makes it more worthwhile. The courses are literally like 2 minutes from each other. They're pretty much on the same street. They're both on Warner. It's just the crossroads are different. So if you highly recommend this course, very, very fun, very, very cheap, and very, very well taken care of. But that's going to be it on our final segment of the Valley Tour. Thanks so much for listening, guys. This has been Tyler Bender for the Varsity Sports Show.
All right, thank you so much, Tyler, with the final Valley Tour. There's a lot of people that really enjoy golf, and that's a sport that's at least in local sports radio, you don't find a lot of coverage on it, particularly in shows like ours. And so we'd like to try and do more to spotlight because it transcends generations. It appeals to every audience. So, Coach, are you a golfer?
I am a golfer.
You are. You don't strike me as the type because you seem...
Oh, I take offense to that.
Well, no, when I talk to you and I'm telling you stories, you ask me to hurry up, and golf is not a game that you can hurry.
Well, I didn't say I'm a good golfer. I just said I can golf. You know?
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've golfed, but it's the type of sport that, yes, it takes a lot of patience, and you know, and I like to ride around on the cart. I just like cruising around on the golf cart, and you got to bring food with you too, because if you're out there for an afternoon, even playing 9 holes, you get drained pretty fast.
You need to hydrate down here.
Yes, and hydrate too. So yeah. But no, it's an interesting sport. Would like to do more coverage around it. So fortunately, some of our crew the past couple of semesters have really been golf enthusiasts, and they've put a nice little spotlight on the sport itself. And moving forward, we're going to have other things that we're going to spotlight, such as the My Recruits commitments, college coaches that we're going to feature on future shows. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Guys, make sure phone lines are open, 602-260-1060. Give us a call and let us know where you're calling from, and we'll look forward to hearing from you. When we come back from the break, we are going to be joined by our old friend Dylan with It's Dylan, and it's a segment that we like to do to spotlight good things going on in the community with one particular guy. He's an old friend of mine from the neighborhood, and he's a teacher. He's a former coach. I guess you never really are a former coach. You're just a coach, and you just keep going, and maybe you take a break every so often. But Dylan Weinmiller, good dude. Looking forward to hearing from Dylan with It's Dylan, brought to you by Chris Scott of RE/MAX up in Bend, Oregon. And the Oregonians listening in this morning, shout out to the Oregonians, my favorite people. We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Go Varsity.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
Founder-level sponsors, the Kristen Graziano Group with HomeSmart Elite, are proud to be Saguaro alumni, community advocates, and your hometown realtors. The Kristen Graziano Group is ranked in the top 1.5% of real estate teams nationally, and your top-selling team right here in SaberCat territory. The Kristen Graziano Group can currently be seen on the Emmy-nominated TV show Selling the Valley of the Sun. When you're ready to buy, sell, or want to know the value of your home, reach out to the group that knows the neighborhood, the Kristen Graziano Group.
This is Dylan, the star of It's Dylan on the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturdays for It's Dylan.
Chris Scott of RE/MAX is Central Oregon's best realtor for anyone thinking of a vacation home or relocation. He's our very own born and raised Phoenician who moved his family to Central Oregon nearly 15 years ago. Contact Chris if you're thinking of exploring beautiful Central Oregon. It truly is living at its best. 541-999-5614. Proud partner of the Varsity Sports Shows, It's Dylan.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
Welcome to Dylan. He's out and about looking for fun. He's Dylan. Brought to you by Chris Scott of RE/MAX Key Properties in Bend, Oregon, where it's living at its best. 541-999-5614. And now, it's Dylan.
All right. Welcome to It's Dylan, and he's a cute, cuddly Sasquatch ogre all wrapped in one. It's Dylan.
Wow.
Good morning, Dylan.
Wow.
I was nice.
Coach Perone. Good morning, Coach Perone. Will you be the one
who finally reaches across the table and just smacks that most punchable face.
Absolutely, Dylan. Done.
Thank you. Thank you. Finally.
I paid you compliments. I said you were cute and cuddly.
Sasquatchy and ogre. That's what followed. Of course it did. Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
We're doing wonderful. What is going on in the community today?
The community today is it's going to be hot, and I got to find my lawnmower. I don't care about the community today. I'm worried about my own house.
Yeah.
My dad borrowed it weeks ago, and apparently he thinks grass doesn't grow over here.
Yeah.
It's I got to do it today or tomorrow. We went back to work this week. It was awesome. I can't wait. Kids
Now can I say where you teach, or are they going to fire you?
They can't fire me unless I do like two of the most just atrocious acts on the planet.
Okay.
So go ahead, fire away.
So you teach at Metro Tech High School, and over there off of where the location of the old West High School in Phoenix, near Phoenix College, over there on 19th. And what are you teaching?
I teach weight. Well, I'm in the PE department. So I've got this year I've got 2 weight training, 2 health, and fitness and sports. So basically PE class.
Okay, so are you like the old throwback PE coach that sits on the bleachers with a cigarette in his hand and throws a couple of playground balls out to the kids and says, "Go play"?
That is the old PE coach.
I am not. I've worked with
sipping cough syrup, but you're not even sick. Yeah,
well, some coffee with a hidden gem in there, but I've always seemed to have worked with those guys, and they're everywhere. If you go to any campus, any meeting, and they can't do anything to me, so it's I can say this. I just won't drop their names, but man, it's unbelievable how many guys still just roll them out with their right and left hand. It to me, it's just it's bizarre because the kids are at least where I'm at now. They're super fun. Now Fairfax, when I was there for 11 years, never had a problem. Loved it. I actually still love that school and the community and whatnot. But it just got it. Once you're in a spot for a while, you know how it can get a little stale. You need some switching up and whatnot. And so I'm real happy at Tech. It's got a lot of good kids, good programs. The students are excellent, and just they make it fun because they're just always engaged, always, and they're asking questions that most of the time I don't have the answer. You know, I'm thinking, dude, you're 14. Quit asking me such good questions.
Hey, Dylan, it's Coach Perone. You had mentioned Fairfax. I don't know if anybody's been over there, but Vince, have you had a chance to go see their new football field?
I haven't been to Fairfax since Dylan Weinmiller was the head football coach.
Dylan, have you seen their new football field?
I have not been down there, but I've seen, of course, I've seen all the pics and
unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a great job they did on that. I'm so happy for those kids.
The whole district did a really, really good job.
Yeah, they did.
I know that was our district AD's, big push, and he finally got it done. It was supposed to be a slow project in the beginning, like 1 school a year, 2 schools a year type thing, and they were just going to rotate around. And then whatever happened one summer, everybody got, they did the first 2, I believe, and then everybody got them the next year. So good for Phoenix Union. Thank you, taxpayers, whoever else makes that stuff go around. But it's fine. It's something that's been long overdue.
All right, so
for our city.
in our final minute here, Dylan. So what do you have? You're a big local concert goer. Do you have anything coming up that you're going to go see that you can recommend to people?
Yeah, well, Thursday night thank you for mentioning that because I did want to give a big shout out to the NAU facilities up there, the football coaches at NAU. Got to go see some friends up there this last Thursday. Took a tour of that new facility, and if you haven't been up there. That is insane.
And let me tell you this, Dylan. Chris Ball, the head coach up there, in 20 years of this business, is the greatest man I have ever met. He is unbelievable as a person.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and I also feel the same way about a couple other guys on their staff that I go way back with. Coach
I don't
Ball
feel that way about you.
Of course you don't, and not a lot of people do. So Vince, you're not that special.
Okay.
But no, the facilities, if you're a local kid down here or anywhere in this state and you go and visit and that's your kind of level, you're going to play in the Big Sky or something similar, man, I don't know how you beat that facility. Yep. I've been to some schools and, some of the bigger schools, and of course they have, just that jaw-dropping facility. And I would put NAU right there, especially maybe just because it's spanking new and I haven't seen it since, I hadn't been up there. For a few years since the last 7-on-7 that I was up there for, but just a great time. Always good to catch up with those guys. And I appreciate what you said about Coach Ball. He is one of the neatest humans that I've ever come across. I don't know him all that well. I have friends that are very close to him. But he's just been great. The other guys are phenomenal people as well. Great coaching staff. So I was really happy for that. And I actually went to the Michael Franti concerts. I needed positivity to kick off this school year. So I'm handing out hugs, man, for the next year. Okay. I had to listen to a little heavy metal on the way home just to balance out, but it was all right. And then Tab Benoit, August 25th. It's a Thursday, Crescent Ballroom. That's a can't miss show for anybody that just appreciates really good music, blues. He's a Cajun blues guy from just right outside New Orleans.
Well, that sounds interesting.
And he'll sell that Crescent Ballroom out. He usually plays the Rhythm Room, and it's standing room only, and he'll play 2 nights and whatnot. But this will be a little bit more formal because of the size of the venue, even though it's a smaller venue. But it'll be a great show. I don't miss him ever when he comes through. I see him, if he's nearby, I'll go check him out, things like that. So
okay,
some cousins will be going and doing that and having a good time. But just ready for school to start. Can't wait.
All right. Well, we look forward to circling back with you to find out how school went this first week and with Dylan Weinmiller and It's
I'll
Dylan.
try not to be so boring next weekend. Hey, by the way, we should the numbers should be just flying through the roof right now. I went to a happy hour. Yeah, the ratings.
Yeah.
I went to a happy hour yesterday, and I think we picked up about 3 or 4 new listeners.
Nice. So we've tripled our listener base.
2 of them I just see signed in. So thank you. We want to thank you on behalf of the Varsity Show.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, comedians. All right. Thanks for joining us, Dylan. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care.
Okay, and we are joined on the line by Brad Young. So, Coach, before we have him come on, why don't you give us a little bit of background on Brad Young?
Well, I mean, kind of got hit from left field here because you had said, hey, call in, anybody listening, and Brad Young was listening to our show, as he normally does on Saturday morning, and Brad called in. So Brad's a young man that I had a chance to work with over at Centennial High School. He was a tight end, a phenomenal tight end, a Division I scholarship guy. Went up to the Oregonians and went to Portland State and said, hey, I'm a pretty good quarterback, and my story is I want to play quarterback. Okay. And most kids won't leave a Division I opportunity as a tight end to go roll the dice and play quarterback. But Brad was a guy who, doesn't live by the rules. He wants to write his own story and came home. He trains with Dan Minucci, a good friend of mine. And he's a great quarterback trainer. And then Brad went up to Minnesota and played some JUCO up there. He played behind a young man, Nate Hayden, who is now a Division I quarterback as well. And Brad just transferred out of there. It's a little cold up in Minnesota. And he just recently went over to LA Valley College. And it looks like he might be the starter over there. So I'm pretty excited to talk to him.
Let's hear from Brad. Good morning, Brad. How are you, sir?
Good, you guys. How are we doing today?
Good. Brad, so tell us, so we heard a little bit about your journey from Coach Perone. Tell us a little bit about, is it West LA College?
It's LA Valley.
LA Valley College.
Yes,
so,
sir.
sorry, LA Valley. Tell us about LA Valley and their program.
I mean, just great people. I mean, I'm honestly grateful for them every day because they're giving me a shot. It's tough when you see somebody, played quarterback for 1 year in the past 5-6 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's tough to give that person a shot. But we got Coach Towns down there, great coach, Coach Wagner, who's the receiver coach, the whole defensive staff. I mean, I razz them every day. They're great people, man.
Did people discourage you from making a position move from tight end to quarterback and say, look, Brad, you got it made as a tight end. Don't screw it up. Were there any naysayers?
Of course, but I feel like in anything you do in life, there's always going to be naysayers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
That was an understatement.
Yeah,
too,
an understatement of the year.
Plenty of naysayers out there, but Vince, Brad's done such an amazing job following, his plan. He has a plan, and that's a great. LA Valley College is a great place. I don't know if you've ever been there, but they have beautiful facilities, great coaches. The California Athletic Association, the CCCA, ACA, CCA. There's a lot of C's and A's in there.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, they put out a great product. And Brad's a young man that's gonna really write some story. I mean, he definitely got some great playing time up in Minnesota, and he's got some decent film. It was unfortunate, that he was behind a great quarterback, Nate Hayden, and Brad, we all know how good he was, and he's over at Presbyterian now, the Blue Hose, and lighting it up. And I think Brad's going to do some great things at LA Valley College. And we just spoke about his brother like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Mikey, yeah. So, okay, Brad, so how do you feel about joining us every so often just to kind of talk to us about your experience with the position change and at LA Valley playing out there? You feel comfortable in doing that if we were going to have you call in every so often?
I would love that, Coach.
All right.
I would love it.
All right, man. Brad Young, quarterback, used to be a tight end. He is now a quarterback at LA Valley Community College. Look forward to hearing from him. Brad, thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk to you in the next few weeks.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me this morning.
Take care, Brad.
All right, we're going to hear from Trevor Goodwin on a quick farewell. Go ahead.
This is Trevor Goodwin for the final time on the Varsity Sports Show as a broadcast intern. I joined the broadcast team with absolutely no experience on radio, but had a strong love and passion for sports. I was able to cover some topics I was passionate about, such as the NFL, NBA, and college athletics. I also got to shine a spotlight on other major news around the sports world this summer, which is a unique opportunity. I'm currently a marketing and game presentation graduate assistant for Arizona State Athletics, so I'll be assisting with multiple sports this upcoming year, including volleyball, football, men's basketball, softball, lacrosse, and Sun Devil hockey as they open up their brand new multi-purpose arena. I will graduate this spring with a master's in sports law and business and will continue to pursue my passion in sports marketing and game presentation, either at the collegiate or professional level. I hope you've enjoyed the content that we've created this summer and help continue to grow the Varsity Sports Show for years to come. I would like to thank Vince for the opportunity and can't wait to get back with him for the upcoming lacrosse season this spring. Thank you for listening to me all summer long. Make sure to come out and support the Sun Devils this year and bring the home field advantage to Arizona State. Make sure to give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at TrevorGood501 to keep up with my continuing sports journey. Once again, thank you for all the support this summer. This is Trevor Goodwin with the Varsity Sports Show, signing off.
When I'm gone, just carry on, don't mourn, rejoice every time you hear the sound of my voice.
Thank you for that, Trevor. Trevor Goodwin, as I said, he is a graduate student at in the Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law at Arizona State University. He is a graduate assistant. He's a GA in the athletic department, game day manager. They call him game day managers, and he manages operations for a couple of the sports. And as I said, I met Trevor this spring when I was doing PA announcing for softball out there, and Coach Tricia Ford, who has now since departed the University of Oklahoma. They've got a new coaching staff in. And also lacrosse, Coach Tim McCormick, who just left for another opportunity at Johns Hopkins, a nationally recognized lacrosse program, and they have a new head coach now. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to working with Trevor again this year. And just all in all, top to bottom, great staff, great programs, a lot of fun. Joined in studio by Coach Perone from My Recruits. Coach, when we come back from the break, we're going to do a recruiting spotlight. This whole show has kind of been a recruiting spotlight, but we're going to spotlight some more young people. So you guys out there, make sure you listen in. Also, give us a call, 602-260-1060. We're here until 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 o'clock Eastern, here on the Varsity Sports Show. Best producer in the business behind the glass, Mr. Corey Walsh. We will be back after the break. Go Varsity.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Hey guys, Vince here. Please join me in welcoming the 2022 Varsity Sports Show Summer Broadcast Team.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Selzer from ASU's Cronkite School of Journalism.
Hi, I'm Trevor Goodwin from ASU's Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law.
Hi, I'm Jake Brown from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Hi, I'm Xander Simmons from Cactus Shadows High School.
Hi, I'm Tyler Bender from ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication.
Hello, sports fans. This is Dick Stockton, and you are listening to Arizona's home of youth, high school, college, and you. The Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
It's time for the Recruiting Spotlight, sponsored by My Recruits and Coach Perot.
All right, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, 100.7 HD radio. Join live in studio with Coach Perone from My Recruits and the Recruiting Spotlight. Coach Perone, as I was saying earlier, the whole show has been kind of a recruiting spotlight, but we got a few more that we want to spotlight this morning.
Absolutely. Let's start rolling down this list because we got some great players. I have a young man up in the Northeast. His name is Nelson Hudgens. He's 6'2", 220. He's a defensive end, all New York State player. Had 49 tackles, 6 sacks, had some Division I FCS opportunities, but decided to go to the Kiski School, which is a very top prep program up there in the Northeast. So he's going to go there for a year. He's going to do some prep stuff, get bigger, faster, stronger. Expect him to really hit that scene hard.
I have one question regarding prep school. Now, how does that affect your collegiate eligibility?
We don't even have enough time for that. But if you're enrolled as a full-time student taking college classes, then your Division I clock will start. But at those post-grad schools, they will retain eligibility and still have 4 years of eligibility. They'll have 5 to play 4.
Got it.
Joey Merritt, wide receiver at a Christian high school, a 2-star, 6'1", 185, had 60 receptions, 1,166 yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 4.1 GPA, and just picked up his first Division I offer to St. Thomas.
Wow.
So we're very excited for Joey. And over here, man, I'm gonna be able to see this guy opening day. I'm gonna go see him. Brennan Hills, the running back from Castile. This young man has hit the scene hard. Was a U.S. Nationals All-American. Went up to Fort Lewis, won the best running back award up there. He's got offers from Knox, Presentation College, Nebraska Wesleyan, Concordia Moorhead, Luther, Jamestown, and he's just continuing to stack and build his opportunities. Super excited about Brennan Hills. Matthew Johansson, 2024. This is an interesting guy, Vince. 6'1", 180, Greenway High School. I had a chance to work with his brother. Great family.
Okay.
4.4 GPA, and it's not too often that I get a two-sport athlete in tennis. But this young man currently holds a Division I offer from the Naval Academy.
Wow.
In tennis.
Wow.
One of the best tennis players, ranked tennis players in the country.
Interesting.
Yeah. So not only is he a special wide receiver and defensive back, don't challenge him on the court.
On the tennis court. Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, we've got some great young men out there. We spoke about Braxton Manasinas, long snapper linebacker at a Centennial, 6'2", 220, just a freak athlete.
Coach, what's the market on long snappers now? Are there a lot out there? Is it a very small minority?
I'll tell you what the market on long snappers are. I tell every parent in the country and every dad that says, I want to see my son playing on Sunday, then you need to go reach out to Ben Bernard and these guys at Kohl's and teach your kid long snapping, because I can tell you right now, long snapping is the greatest football job in the world if you want to play professional football.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on the field, short story, I was on the field with Chuck Cecil at a Mountain Ridge game. Tyler Wigglesworth, who is up at NAU, he was on the sidelines just snapping. And Chuck was standing right there, and his head kept snapping around. He said, mark my words, he said to me, I'll never forget. He said, this guy's going to play 15 years in the NFL. Just like that. And you know, certain long snappers just, and I think, I'm pretty sure Mountain Ridge does have a long snapper that played 15 years in the NFL. I forget his name, it escapes me, but you know, it's a great job. I had Jaden Green from Mesa High School, went to the University of Washington. There's some great ones out there.
Well, yeah.
And Braxton's a nationally ranked. He went to the Kohl's camp in Tennessee, top 25. So he's a guy, he's getting looked at by, Utah and Oregon State and a couple of those schools. So it's going to be interesting.
And off the top of my head, I know of a couple. Brian Jennings, a good friend of mine, played. He was a part of our team at ASU way back when, and Steve Mariucci drafted him when he coached the 49ers, and he spent his whole career in San Francisco. It was like something like 12 years as a long snapper, and just a great guy. And he's out of it now, obviously for a couple of years now, but. Dale Hellestray is another one. Played 17 years in the NFL, and it was a majority of which was as a long snapper. So it's the longevity is. I mean, it's.
And don't forget, Vince, when you talk about playing in the NFL, 1.1 million high school athletes. Yeah. I think 16,900 college athletes, and 254 of them get drafted every year. Wow. So from 1.1 million to 254.
And how many of them actually stick after they get drafted?
I think the average life expectancy of an NFL player, I think I read, is 1.7 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, we're all surrounded. I got tons of parents right now that played in the NFL. You know, they did one and dones, or as Steve Weiss or Doug Madosky from the HJCAC calls it, they had a cup of coffee in the NFL.
Yeah. Wow. And that should be that'll be another an ongoing relationship, as we'll be working with the HJCAC this year. So
we are all over the place.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a lot of things going on.
This truly is the place to be.
High school, and so yeah. Hey guys, I mean definitely, and not to knock the other programs. I try to take as much of the high road as I can, but yeah, we offer that that nice variety of things going on in the community, and so we're just
and there's some great other shows out there, and I love some of the media that we have here in the state of Arizona. I could tell you, one of the classiest guys you will ever meet is Chris Eaton from Gridiron, Arizona.
Okay, yeah.
If you have not had a chance to meet him, he is a true class act. And I always take my hat off to that guy.
Talk to Chris, Chris has approached us at some games. Good guy. Brett Quintine is a good guy as well, and Jose Garcia, those guys, and they host a show that you in the time block. It's a direct competitor, but in terms of the content, it's not. They are strictly AIA. We are, because the name of their show, I think, is AIA Report or something. I don't know, but we cover different things, so it makes it a lot of fun. But anyway. So.
We're the only one with It's Dylan.
That's right. And the Beachin' with Beal Southern California Surf Report and the My Recruits Recruiting Spotlight. Where can you find all of that variety in one show?
Well, I've got a couple offers that I'm entertaining, so I might be leaving.
Okay. Anyway, but thank you for continuing to listen, guys. We are going to be joined here shortly by Tyler Bender, who is going to be telling us a little bit about his future plans. And Tyler, as you know, was a part of our broadcast team for the summer, did some great reports, the Whip It Up report, the Valley Golf Tour, the music segment that he did. I mean, it was just it was a lot of fun, and wish him all the luck in the world. And actually, Tyler's dad is a DJ in Hawaii. Tyler's from Hawaii and really loves attending Arizona State University. He'll be a senior this fall. So let's hear from Tyler, Corey.
How's it going, everybody? Tyler Bender for the Varsity Sports Show. I'd just like to take a quick minute to say thank you and goodbye to everybody. This has been a really fun summer. I've really enjoyed being on the show. I've had a lot of fun teaching you guys recipes, showing you guys music, and of course using work as an excuse to go play some golf over the summer. Coming into the Varsity Sports Show, I had some experience in radio. I talked about it on the show that my father has been in radio since he was 18, so I got to be around the studio, but I never really had the opportunity to be a live host. All the radio shows I have done in the past were mainly scripted. Everything that I was talking about I had written out before, but a lot of this was just off the top of your head. You have to have a conversation with the person sitting across from you. You have to find a way to segment in and out of each break, how to go to commercial, something completely new to me, and I really enjoyed the experience this summer and learning how to do that. In the future, I would like to do sports documentaries. I love to do something like ESPN 30 for 30s. I want to tell people's stories, but I want to have the freedom to do with it as I like. As you've probably learned from the show, I'm a bit of a talker. I don't like the normal news where you have to condense it. I want to be able to tell people's stories in full. Everybody has a story to tell, and everybody's story is so deep and complex that sometimes we don't give them enough time to do it, and I want to give them that time. So coming away from the show, I think I've learned a lot about being able to just adjust on the fly and being able to come up with something creative when you really don't know what's there. Just reach your hand into a bag and something will come out, and see what you can make of it. So thank you so much for listening to me, guys, over the summer. I've really appreciated it, and I've had a lot of fun, and I'll see you guys around.
Welcome back, guys, and thank you so much, Tyler. Looking forward to seeing what kind of things he does in the future. We're going to keep tabs on these guys and kind of track their progress, and I mean, all signs are pointing up for all of our crew and staff. And anybody interested, any students that are interested in joining the Varsity Sports Show as an intern, hey, we're not just here having you get coffee. We're not like some of the other shows where you never so much as see the light of day with a microphone. We put you to work right away. Now, my philosophy with our team this year, they'll say, what was the Varsity Sports Show philosophy? And it was just 2 words: don't suck. That was it. That was it. Because, if we put our name on something and we put it out there in the community, that's what people are going to remember. So I tell our guys, look, if you're going to bring something to the table, it's got to be good. Otherwise, it's not going to make it. There is no, participation trophy. There's no B, C, D grade. It's either an A or it's an F. So that's how we operate here. But, guys, when we come back from the break, we're going to hear from more of our staff. You'll hear from, coming up, Xander Simmons, our high school intern from Cactus Shadows High School, will be joining us with a quick farewell. And Lindsay Selzer, our grad student, will also be saying goodbye. And then Coach Perrone and I will wrap up the show in the final minutes. Thanks again for joining us. Joined in studio by Coach Perrone. We'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Vince and Lou coming right back. Go Varsity.
Easy Sports Talk with former NFL and MLB player Ed Smith and co-host Javon Adams airs Saturday mornings 10 to noon on KDUS AM 1060.
What's up, Varsity Sports Show? My name is Jake Brown, and I am a sports journalism student at ASU's Cronkite School. As a sports fanatic myself, I know the news and topics us fans will be interested in. And even though I'm a sports guy, I'll also tell you what's new in movies and TV shows each week. See y'all next time on Varsity Sports Show.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk to you about a good friend of mine named Bob Jenkins. Bob is a Marine Corps veteran. Bob and his younger brother DJ own Vets Built Contracting. You've seen their trucks around Metro Phoenix, I'm sure. For 5 years, they've been hiring and putting veterans to work. Vets Built is licensed, bonded, and insured, both residential and commercial, specializing in renovations, remodeling, new build, casitas, safe rooms, or small commercial TI work. If you're a skilled veteran looking for work, a homeowner in need of work, or a commercial business needing TI work, please call Bob or DJ at Vets Built at 480-584-3675.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Dude, Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is male, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
What is going on, everybody? It is Xander from the Varsity Sports Show for the final time I had an incredible time this summer. These past 2 months have been really fun, with half of it being here in Arizona, kind of doing my sports stuff, and half of it being in Israel, kind of taking you guys with me. But this summer, this internship was a really good experience for me, and I really learned a lot. This is my first internship where I kind of recorded stuff, because I've had internships where it's kind of like writing and like newspaper stuff. This is my first time getting on a radio show, so I would like to thank Vince and everyone else, all the interns, for making this possible for me, because I had an incredible time this summer. I learned a lot, and it's kind of helped me with my long-term goals, because I want to go to Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Most of these interns, actually I think every single one of them is from the school, so I hope I make it in there eventually. I'm a junior now, so 2 years, hopefully, fingers crossed. And as far as like short term goes, high school's been, it's been interesting, but I think I can definitely use this whole internship to kind of improve myself for interviews, because this year some of my classes require interviews outside of school. So I'm glad that I was able to do this internship and kind of be able to learn how to do that in a way that's how they do it in the real world. So I would just like to thank you guys, all the listeners, for an incredible experience. I had a great time talking to you guys. And for the final time, this has been Xander Simmons, Cactus Shadows High School junior now, from the Varsity Sports Show. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Lindsay Selzer, and I just want to say that I've had the best summer as a Varsity Sports Show intern. I have been working on the radio show every single week, whether that has been in-studio hosting, which has been my absolute favorite, being the lead host, being able to take the reins on the show and really make it our own. Being the interns has been an incredible experience. I've also been enjoying bringing my own podcast into the radio and making it a segment, which is The Lowdown with Linz, which I did every single week during the summer. And it's a healthy mix of sports and pop culture, just like me, which is just like my podcast, but I made a little radio segment for the show to make it a little shorter and sweeter so we could hear it on the radio every single week. And I came with 2 sports stories and 2 pop culture stories, so we'd have a nice healthy mix of my personality. I am now going into my last semester at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism, ASU. I am a graduate student. I am doing my last semester in the Cronkite Sports Bureau, where I will be doing broadcast journalism for Arizona PBS as well. I'm very excited and looking forward to that experience. But overall, this summer has given me so much confidence in my audio and radio skills that I feel like I can go into the sports bureau and learn more about broadcast television and how to be on TV and a sports reporter. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that has listened to my segments this summer for in-studio hosting. I've also been enjoying all the amazing interviews I've conducted with Mr. Keith Poole, who played in the 1996 Rose Bowl, and also tons of other people, such as family, friends, and family members that are in the sports industry. I know I talked to a professional CrossFitter and different people of that realm, a few different college athletes. So I've really enjoyed it, and thank you all.
Thank you, Lindsay. Thanks so much, guys. I got to tell you, joined in studio by Coach Perone, but I'm humbled. It's a little bit of work. I got to be honest with you. When you lay out objectives with a brand new crew, we're gonna have a new crew, a new broadcast intern crew, production crew, coming in this fall in 2 weeks. And we're going to have over 20 because of the volume of football games. Coach, the volume of games we're going to be doing this fall, we're going to be approaching between Thursday and Saturday, between high school, between the HJCAC, between NYS football and everything else. We're going to be approaching 100 games. Last year, we did around 60, and we totaled, we had 100,000 views in last fall alone on our live stream broadcast. This year, I wouldn't be surprised if we're over 200,000 with the increase in just volume and the increase in the word of what we're doing. We do good work. I'm very proud, and it's not because of me. Believe me, it's because of our incredible team and staff. And Coach Coach, you gonna help call some games this year? We did one game together last year.
That's exciting.
I got you a
for
shirt,
me.
so
it is.
Yeah.
I'm the best color man in the business.
Yeah,
I
got to tell you, you're pretty good.
Everybody tells me I've missed my calling.
Yeah.
I need to be on the radio show, and I think that's going to happen. I'm thinking about starting the Coach Perone show and putting it in this time slot.
In this time slot,
knocking you out of the park.
Yeah. You know what? And that would happen. Yes. Thank you for that. So much for loyalty. But no, anyway. But we're looking forward to it. We're excited. We've got a lot of young talent coming, and we're going to introduce all you guys to our new talent coming on board, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a little bit of work, but it'll be fun. I wanted to talk about something else here in our final segment, and then we'll transition back. But this past week, there was a tragedy that happened within the Centennial High School community out in the Northwest Valley. A young man that lost his life by the name of Cesar Jesus Vasquez Gil. There's a GoFundMe set up for him. Coach, can you give us any background on what happened to this young man?
Yeah, it's I had spoke to Coach Thiele, and he really couldn't put too many words together over this week. I had spoke to him this morning and just trying to help get the GoFundMe out. The young man had a great camp, came back. I look at the photograph of him, and he wears my number 76, and,
wow.
and he had a lot of potential in college. I mean, this is a guy that was going to play on Saturday, and it's just sad. It just as a parent of 3 sons, I can't imagine in my wildest dreams what this family is dealing with. But we've been able to raise, it looks like, just south of $3,500, but it's still not enough. The family, needs help. They're trying to do some memorial stuff and at least give this man, a young man, a good send-off. So I have it up on my social media.
Yeah.
I know, Vince, you're going to put it out on yours. And I have a couple other good friends in the media industry that are going to get it out there. I think, $3,100 we've raised and with 43 donors, and I think we'll hit that $15,000 hopefully by Monday. And it's the least we can do, but our prayers are with this family, and our prayers are with Coach Taylor, the Centennial program, and Coach Thiele, and all of the teammates. And it's a difficult time, and you try to console as much as you can, but it's tough.
No, every parent starts a family for different reasons. People, want to have kids, and ultimately it's about a legacy and carrying that on. And no parent should bury their child. And as speaking on as a parent that had to do that, I lost a son many years ago, Joseph, and you never forget. It doesn't matter how old, how young they are. It's when they leave before you, regardless of the reason. It really is hard to put into words and to recover from something like that. And so our prayers go out to the Vasquez Gil family on the loss of Cesar Jesus. And there's a GoFundMe, as I said, that's set up. And Coach Perone at My Recruits will push it out. There's some funds that have already accumulated, and we'll continue to do that and spread the word. And we really show our concern to the Centennial family and beyond. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show, and a goodbye to Tyler Bender, Jake Brown, Trevor Goodwin, Lindsey Selzer. Great job this summer from you guys, our summer staff, and Xander Simmons. Nice job, you guys. And Coach Perone, thank you so much for joining us in studio. Coming up next, Easy Sports, Easy Ed, and Javon Adams, J-Love. I don't think I'm allowed to call him that, but anyway, Ed does. So anyway, they'll be kicking it off at 10 a.m. Great guys. Really appreciate them. And like I said, I can only count on one hand the close friendships and relationships I have in this business, and Ed Smith and Javon are 2 of those. Corey Walsh, great job behind the glass, our producer. And guys, new look with the Varsity Sports Show this fall. We're going to be ramping things up starting next week. Thanks again for joining us. Coach Perone, thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
And looking forward to continuing to collaborate with you and all of our listeners and our partners, our sponsors. Can't do it without you. Please patronize all those fine businesses that give their seal of approval and their money to making this show happen. So thanks again. On behalf of all of that, my name is Vince D'Alicio. Thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. And Coach Perrone, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Go Varsity.
All right. Go Varsity.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.